foot of the Rockies in Denver, Colorado. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Denver Broncos. Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway. Dwayne Eskridge elects to bring it out. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. Smith going to go to the air, first play. This one to the former Bronco. It's Noah Fant.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Options galore here, second and a few inches. First carry here for Kenneth Walker, the third. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets this up past the 30.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first carry in a ball game for DJ Dallas. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw on second down is Smith. This one goes underneath to Walker. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 3rd and 4 now. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Smith. Pass complete. He's got Smith and Jigba. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21. They give them 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Well, they clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Out to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Out of the gun, Smith. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
Here we go on fourth. Smith. Dancing to his left. That's to his running back, complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 18. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And just no chance. Corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. We're scoreless after one. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. He's across midfield. Now he's loose at the 40 and down to the 19-yard line. 4th down conversion plays. You usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
I tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk. But it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a first down, but a big play as well.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson. This will be caught at about the 6. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Williams is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Well, finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Wilson and the Broncos offense going to stay on the field. They'll go for 2. They'll look to run for him with Williams. And he will get in to make it 8-0. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. And so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be searching to dent the scoreboard for the first time. Now down 8-0 as they begin with a 1st and 10. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Pat Surtain. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Judy. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They run. It's Williams. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. Wilson going to throw for it. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0.
I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
Now, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
Esker's going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this.
Here's a diving catch right side. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Now Geno on first down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Smith, this throw finds Smith and Jigba.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Throwing again is Smith. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant as the first half is winding down.
And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played.
Out of the end zone comes Smith. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And we know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Following the fumble recovery, Smith. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba. In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Seahawks have cut it back within a score.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
The final shot here before break, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So now, Charles, 2 touchdowns, 2 tries and 2-point conversions, and both fail.
And you want to say, let's go ahead and run the kicker out there from now on, but the problem is you're chasing points at this stage. So now you got to dial up more 2-point conversions and hope you're successful from here on out.
And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They start the second half here with Williams. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. One of the best of the last decade or so. Bobby Wagner in to bring him down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time. Forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Here's Wilson. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Back to Walker on first down.
And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Ken Walker.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the first and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
They get the conversion, and Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, we'll see how this offense responds. Remember, the last time they were out, they went for it on fourth down, did not get it, and that led to a touchdown on the other side. So they need a response here.
They certainly do, and I just have a question for you. You think that was a gut feel, or was that analytics that came into play there, deciding to go for it on fourth down?
That felt like gut to me. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely, because the way it backfired, where they are in the game, all those things, that didn't feel like an analytics call. That certainly felt like, hey, I feel like we can get this right now. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for them.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They run it again with Williams. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
The offense is going to stay out there. They've converted twice, failed once so far on fourth down. Let's see what's in store here.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. Geno now to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll toss this out right to Walker. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players. But you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
On the counter, it's Walker. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian league star, in on the stop. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. They begin the drive with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Bobby Wagner, multiple times an All-Pro, in there to drop him for a loss.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Throwing now is Wilson. And that is incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down, and that should just about do it.
It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Well, that 2nd half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the 2nd half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the 2nd half, that's a surprise.
So that'll do it.